What's up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another reaction video for you guys. Now this comes from Vivica Fox, y'all. So Vivica Fox is back in the news, baby. So Vivica Fox is still hung up over 50 Cent. Seems like even in her 60s, she's still, you know, pondering on that relationship that she squandered allegedly with 50 Cent from buku years ago. She still has him in her head. She doesn't seem to have had a healthy, stable relationship since that one, allegedly. So now she's out here supposedly giving young women advice of about one thing, and 50 Cent is still coming out of her mouth, which, you know, we see 50 Cent all on social media. He has moved on from her, but she's still stuck. She still believes that, you know, that is the one that got away, that she should still be with him, even though she's the one who squandered the relationship, in my opinion, allegedly. So we're gonna jump into what she said, and also shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson for covering this. I'll play a little bit of what he had to say about this, which he was spot on per usual about Vivica, Miss Vivica A. Fox. Miss,
I need you to take me shopping.
You know, she's still at 60 something years old, is still looking for a man to pander to her and to, you know, treat her like a princess, even though she has long surpassed her princess days. But she still sees herself as this younger version of herself that can still attract these young rich men that will want to take her shopping and do all these things for her. She doesn't realize that she has passed, you know, that you know, that age, and she's past the point of being this, you know, young ingenue out here, you know, doing her thing in her young 20s and 30s. She has yet to accept the fact that she's a 60-year-old grandmother at this time, and you know, you know, her dating options are not as vast as they once were. And listen, it's okay. We all get to that point. She doesn't realize that she's hit the wall, is what I'm saying. And we all get to that point where you don't have as many options as you did when you were in your prime. That is a real thing. And a lot of women take offense to it, but it's just the nature of life. But we're going to get into what she had to say. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this one. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, share and like the video. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. And definitely chime in. I want to hear your thoughts on this one, child. Let's get into Miss Take Me Shopping. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Trying to chase after their dreams. Don't date 50 Cent. Don't date my
face. Look at the audience. Oh, girl, yeah, I know that's right. Screaming like, what? What in the world? She look at the smirk on her face. Like, baby, this really took her down. I really think that relationship with her at 50 really like messed her up. I think she realized she squandered it, by the way, because we gonna replay, you know, a little bit of what he had to say when they were in the relationship and how it ended. But, you know, this is another false narrative that women like to just kind of like put out there without no real depth or no real concept of what really happened. They just like to put a little bit out there to make you think that, oh, the men are the ones who are squandering the relationships and the men, you know, were the ones who missed out. No, but in this case, clearly she missed out because she can't stop talking about this man every chance she gets. She said he was the love of her life and all of this, but she squandered it, but somehow try to make it seem like somehow he's the one who dropped the ball and he was the problem, when a lot of times the women are the problems. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Just so you know, it took me years to be able to laugh about it. I had to learn to laugh, not to cry, baby. But I did it. Yes.
Ma'am, you had no other choice but to do it. What you mean? You thought you was a hot back in the day, and 50 Cent talked about it, where you thought you were better than him, trying to son him because you had the bigger career, and you fumbled him, and he moved on. What, you thought he was supposed to run behind you? A lot of people do this. A lot of people, you know, they smelling their own ish, and they think that they're just too cool for school. Like, you got it made. You don't need a man. You don't need nobody. You can do what you want. And then you realize once you're not as valuable to men, I'll put it like that, when you're an elderly person, now you don't have those opportunities, you're mad. Instead of understanding that when you are in your prime, when you're the most hottest you're ever gonna be, and you're young, and you don't need them fans in front of you, because baby, when you start getting older and that menopause set in, you need them fans. You don't see no 20-year-old women out here with fans if they don't need it. When you're going through them hot flashes and your body is going through the change and you're changing all around and you're a senior citizen, you need the fans and you need all these other stuff. These men out here don't want you. And it's not saying that you are a bad person or anything like that. That you have value to yourself. You should value yourself and love yourself, but your value to men and others is not quite the same. So this is why I try to tell young women, listen, when you're young, that is your opportunity to snag you a man. Get you a man that loves you. And y'all can build and grow together. That's the only way you're gonna really have the most potential to get the successful relationship that you may want. That's your best opportunity. Not saying that it won't happen. Listen, miracles happen every day. But is that the common norm of how it works? No. So if you want the best opportunities and the best chance to get what it is that you want, you got to start young. You got to start working on that when you're young. And I don't care if you're successful. I don't care how many degrees you have. I don't care about any of that. If you really want a real stable relationship, a marriage, a family, you got to start when you're young. Stop thinking that you're hot. You hot. That's why the men want you. So pick one of the ones that want you and stop thinking that you can keep constantly do better, that you can do better and better and better, because what you're doing is you end up wasting time. You end up in a situation like Vivica Fox, where she seems to be single and still holding on to that one man that she thought got away, or thinking that I don't know what she's thinking, that she deserves him at this point. No, that man moved on and you missed out, and she seems bitter. So I want young women to understand you don't have to allow yourself to get to a senior citizen age and miss out if you really want somebody. If you find a man that you want to be with, he want to be with you, y'all better work that thing out, and y'all better work together and build together. That way you have something for, to hold on for your future. It's not just about a man, but it's about legacy. It's about family, building a family with a person, having a stable relationship for your kids. If that's what you want, you got to start early. But she's one of the perfect examples, in my opinion, of what not to do. Her, Lisa Ray, and a few others who are older now. And now they're realizing that, hey, these are attractive women now. And especially in their prime, they were attractive women, beautiful, successful, talented, all of these things. But they're having a problem in the men department. That's it. And you would think for them being such beautiful women that they wouldn't have this problem. But that you see, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how successful you are. If you don't go about this the right way, then you'll end up by yourself. And if you're cool with that, I'm cool with it. But if you're not, this is a way not to approach it. Let's continue.
2003, 50 Cent would shoot his shot at Vivica A. Fox at the BET Awards. And she had to be around 38 to 39. And guess what? She was still fine. 50 Cent must have been about 27 or 28. But their relationship was on fire. I mean, it was brief, but it was very public. But still, we're talking about it today. And we're going to get back to that relationship. As time would go on, Vivica A. Fox and 50 Cent would split up. 50 Cent would transition from hip-hop into doing TV shows and movies and things like that, making a lateral move and then what I would consider a vertical move, while, Vivica A. Fox started to do stuff like, selling hair bundles and going to some forms of entrepreneurship, getting little roles here and there. But 50 Cent would become a man that she never expected him to become. And she would show some level of chagrin for passing up on 50 Cent.
I've said this many times before, 50 Cent was the love of my life. He was the one that, kind of blew that one. Happens. I was young, had been used to taking care of myself. 50 wanted me to be his princess, and I didn't get it.
Now, Vivica A. Fox would still be beautiful.
Right. And see, that's the thing. And I think this is the issue that a lot of women have. They have this mindset of, hey, I'm young and I'm in my prime. I don't want to take the back seat to a man. And I think that's the issue a lot of successful women have. They feel like, hey, I'm young, I'm beautiful. I want to take, I want to go as far as I can, which I don't think, when she met him, she was Vivica Fox. So I don't think that he was trying to take that away from her. And even she said he wanted her to be his princess. I'm pretty sure he was not expecting you to do away with your career. I'm pretty sure that he was not saying, oh, walk away from your career. You can't act and do the things that you do. That would be insanity to do that. To say, oh, I met you this way and I know what you do. That I don't think that that's what the deal was. But it was more or less, which he will explain, of why he had to walk away. And I don't think he was trying to stop her from doing and being who she was. It's just, I think the attitude and the mentality that women have when they are successful is the thing that kind of throw men off and run men away. Let's continue.
But then something started to happen. We started to see her face change a lot. And not that she was ugly or anything. It's just that her face got a lot whiter out of the blue. Now, it's not because I feel like she put on, weight or anything, because even when she was like 50, she still looked like she always looked. But then something just happened, it's like her face started kind of swelling up. And then Tasha K did this.
This looks normal. Besides all the Botox, and they put too much Botox in the forehead, so it's spreading the forehead, because what it does is stretches your skin out when you do Botox, and when it dissolves, your skin gets thick. It's kind of like losing weight and gaining weight and losing weight, and the skin starts sagging, so they put more Botox in, so the face gets bigger and bigger. And there's no issue with this video at all. However, keep watching.
So as it appears, Vivica A. Fox was receiving Botox injections, and it does swell your face, and then it stretches your skin out, which makes sense as to why Vivica A. Fox's, public appearance changed. And then this.
She looks like a normal 50-plus-year-old black woman. The BBL's a little off.
That BBL's a mess.
It don't match the legs, but pause. Who is that? Who the that?
Tasha K. Tasha is silly. But let me go back for a second. So basically, they edited the picture, and this is what a lot of people do. She looks slimmer. She looks shapely. Her face is smooth. She looks like 10 years younger on the edited pose. Look, I'm all for a little filter, a little here and there, because you want your pictures to look as best as possible. But I mean, changing it all the way, like, you can go too far with it. That's why any of this stuff, I think you could go too far. It gets to be too much. But but when people see the before and after, it's not noticeable. We see the major difference. But yeah, it's just crazy. But anyway, shout out to Tasha K. Let's continue.
I know a lot of men are getting a lot of enjoyment out of talking about what she looked like back in the day versus what she looked like now, and why she didn't want these things when she looked her best. But let's keep it for real. Most people, this is what they do. Most people, when they look their best, when they're in the best position financially, they don't want to settle down. They think they got so many options. They think that so many people want them that they can keep playing around. And then finally, when that money dry up, or when them looks ain't the same, then all of a sudden, that's when them standards start dropping, and they willing to accept certain things. Or they keep the same standards, and now it sounds delusional that they want these things when they don't look the same, or they not in the same place financially.
Like, that's exactly what my experience with, what's her name, was like, with Vivica.
Oh, with Vivica.
She thought I was just saying this stuff like I was overselling.
Right.
But I had really the plan, like the layout.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, and then
You had the vision.
and then she went off doing stuff that because she didn't
Believe it.
believe it. Like, and then it was like it felt like the corporate dragging the horse.
Right.
And then I had to move away from that because it felt weird, Mike. Like, it's like our publicist and stuff was telling the stuff to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, this is crazy. Because she'd been on before me.
Okay.
She was making me feel like a little boy.
So that is 50 Cent's response to why the relationship ended. Because once again, it's a woman who's successful, didn't feel like she needed a man. She didn't respect him as a man because she thought she was better. And that's typically why you see so many successful, beautiful women now who are struggling when it comes to relationships is because they don't feel that they need you, and they want you to follow them. They want you to follow their lead. They want you to sit back and let them just be and, be who they are. But they also put a whole lot of responsibilities on you, to be in a relationship. So in the relationship, you have to be this, super ninja for her, because somehow you have to cater to her and, kiss her butt to be with her because she's so successful. She thinks she's the top-ish, she's that girl, as they would put it. And so she deserves everything in the world, and you have to be the one to provide it for her, even though she's super successful. Women who are successful want men to cater to them or idolize them because they are successful. They want rewards for having to go out and work, and because they may have worked hard and established a little something in their lives, they feel like a man owe them something, like a man owe them all the catering, and like you gotta worship her because, oh my God, because she was a woman and she did it and she became successful. And they want you to run behind them because they've gained some or attained some type of success. It's the strangest thing in the world. It's like they really feel entitled, and they really think that any man, they want you to bow down to them. Like they really are queens. They really, that's the type of mentality that they have. Oh, I worked hard. Oh, I got this and that. So what you gonna do? Like you gotta really bring it. So you really gotta kiss their asses and really look up to them. That's what they want you to do as a man. They want you to look up to them because they're successful. Like it don't work like that. That's not how men operate. And women are learning it the hard way because they're struggling. A lot of successful, beautiful women are struggling with relationships because of that very mentality. And so until they learn better that, hey, look, you know better than him, that y'all should work together and build together. It shouldn't be a competition in a relationship. And we see too much of that. And I think once again, when women find success, the success is only for them. When men are successful, they're looked at to, be successful. They're expected to be successful for one, and they're looked to provide for a family and a woman and do the best at it. But when women are successful, they're not looked at to do anything but to just be successful and cater to themselves. And they want you to cater to them as well. They're not looked at as, a contributor in a relationship. They want to be successful, make all the money, and look down on you and want you to worship them. But they still want you to bring everything to the table while they just stay on their throne. And that is not what any man should be doing for any woman. You know what I'm saying? You should come into a relationship as a willing partner or a willing spouse, a person who's willing to work with your person, not you sitting on a throne and thinking that everything's supposed to be catered to you and you just sit there while he, do everything to maintain your feelings and make you happy 24/7. No, it should be an equal, reciprocal relationship. Where you want to be happy, then y'all make each other happy, not just him catering. That day is, baby, ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. Hell to the no. Y'all gotta work with a man, or you just be single and be these boss chicks that you say you are, and continue to take care of yourself until the end. That's just that. But baby, Vivica Fox, once again, she's one of some of these older women who just still think that a man's supposed to cater to them and do all these things, and they're realizing, baby, that day is over. You missed that window. Move on, be happy with the rest of your life. If you find a man who will take you shopping, if you'll find one who wants to accept you for who and what you are and be willing to take you shopping and not be intimidated by who and what you are, if you find that, kudos to Vivica. Like I was a fan of Vivica Fox, and I still am, of her work. But when it comes to relationships, that's where a lot of these successful women fail. That's it. It's a known thing, in my opinion, that, hey, whatever you prioritize first is what, and whatever you become successful at first is where your success lies. The other things that you're trying to work on, they may falter or fall short because it's secondary to what you put most of your attention towards. Meaning, if you start off young, focusing on your career and building a career for yourself, and that's what you want to become, an entrepreneur, and you want to be successful at it, that's where you're going to put all of your energy and all of your time. When it comes to a man and relationships and family, that's where that you fall short because you can't focus on both at the same time. At least that's what they've been taught in the Black community, that you have to focus on one at a time. And I think that's been something that's failed us and have led us astray, because they're in other communities of people, they've been able to do both. They've been able to go to college, get a degree, but still find a husband in the midst of that, build families and all of it. But they weren't so gung-ho on, I need to get a degree so I can prove a point. But then I'll come back to it, man. They understood that they needed family. That family needed to be prioritized, that they need to have a husband and they need to have kids that they can raise in a stable 2-parent home because they understand the importance of that. But somehow in the Black community that was lost. A lot of us were taught we didn't need men, that you could be single mothers and you could still raise your kids by yourself and it's going to be okay. But we've seen time and time again how that's played out for us in our communities, and it has not worked out. So we got to change the narrative. We got to shift that, because it's not just about your feelings, but it's about what's good for you and your kids and our developing communities and the ones that are coming after us, for your kids and their kids, so that we can have some type of semblance, some type of example of a stable Black community, because right now it's in shambles. But listen, I want to hear your thoughts on this particular video. Make sure you chime in. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Comment, like, subscribe, y'all. Make sure you are supporting the channel in that way. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.